The story of a father's love, a community's sorrow, and the city's call for justice in the brutal aftermath of a crime that took two lives. One was a 7-year-old little girl who clearly had nothing to do with nothing. But on top of that, the family get little to no justice. The person who's allegedly held responsible, one of the two, only get 10 years in prison.
Nah, all jokes aside, 200 years. He need to feel the pain. Fuck it, give him 200 years, cause he goofy.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
Niggas better not play. Hop out whips, you run, you get it chased. Titties on a Drake, call it Ray. Watch out when I spray. Getting blue, channel 2, breaking news. And your mom, she can get it too. Why you?
A 7-year-old girl and a man who were killed last night in the Central West End. Police have now identified the little girl as Damia Fleming. They have not identified the man. They don't know how she is related to the man. The two were found in a parked car on Laclede Avenue last night around 8 o'clock. She's the second child to die from gun violence in the city since the start of the year. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on the screen, 866-371-TIPS.
We're gonna let you see the little girl. You can't touch her. You can't take her picture. You can't do anything. And they said, well, her heart stopped. We tried to revive her. We did CPR. We did everything we could, but it just didn't work. So I'm like, okay. And I walked down this hall and I look to the left and I see my granddaughter laying in the bed, covered up with a sheet just from the, from the neck down. And I just looked and I saw her and my heart stopped. Her grandmother freaked out. She screamed and she fell on the floor and she kept trying to get to her. And I just looked because I wanted to see her, see her face. Her eyes were open a little bit and her lips were turning purple. And I just kept rubbing her leg and I said, Granny's her. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm here. I'm like, come on, wake up. I'm like, come on, I'm here to get you. My son writes music, has videos, and I used to be like, come on, let's get it together. God has a purpose for you. I always say, God has a purpose for you. God has a purpose for your life.
A man has been arrested and charged in connection with a shooting that killed a 7-year-old girl in St. Louis in January. It happened in the Central West End on Laclede Avenue. The girl, Damia Fleming, was in the car with her father, Darian Fleming, when they were both shot and killed. Javon Nettles is now charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Court documents.
You look like a fucking goofy. I'm not even gonna tell you no lie. Your ass goofy as hell. You look like a fucking goofy who's scared to get his fucking man, so you just went up to the car just shooting, just fucking guns ablazing the glory. You fucking goofy. You just pissed me off.
Documents show Nettles and Fleming knew each other, but didn't say why the two were meeting up that night.
What is this wait like for you
Give his ass
as a mother, as a grandmother?
Hey, y'all already know. I'm very fond friend of the death penalty. Your ass get me in there as motherfucking what that shit called? What the head of the prison called? Damn, I forgot what that shit called. Y'all drop the chat, man. I forgot what it's called. It started with M though. I know that. What that shit called? Nah, I really don't want to be classified as one of them because they be in there Raymond and all type of shit. So I don't want to be. But y'all get wild. Y'all catch my drift of what I'm trying to say. Motherfucking, hey, listen, vote me. Your ass getting that death penalty. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But nah, all jokes aside, 200 years. He need to feel the pain. Fuck it, give him 200 years, cause he goofy.
They're feeling this pain.
I mean, it's heavy. It's very heavy.
The warden. Yeah, the ward. I'm talking about the ill, but it's something else though. They be called the something else, but the ward. That's what I'm talking about. But hey, is the warden only for is the warden only for women prisoners, or is it? Because I only really hear you only hear really somebody say the warden when they talk about the women prison. So is the warden only for women prison, or is for male prison too? I don't know, y'all. I ain't too much of no jailbird, so I don't know. I ain't know.
It's like
I had my couple little run-ins, but look here. I ain't with all that shit. Hey, yeah, I tell y'all, every time I went in, I got bond. I knew I was getting out. Fuck all that shit.
Wounds.
All that 3, 4, 5, 6, all that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus years of shit. Nah, I ain't with all that.
Somebody just keeps pouring alcohol on, just like it's a constant sting, a constant pain.
I got shit to do.
And it just keeps on like it's not getting any better. It's like you all are making it worse and worse and worse. Like they just, like yesterday was like killing them all over again. It's like it just put us right back there where, like from the first day it happened.
And this is clearly not justice for you. What does this 10-year sentence mean for you?
It means nothing. It means nothing. That was just, that was nothing. And she constantly kept trying to remind us that no matter how much time she gave them, it wouldn't bring my son and my granddaughter back. She just kept, no amount of time is gonna, you can't speak for us. I think life would have been fine. But he's been in there 2 years already, so he's gonna do what, 6 or 7 years, and get out and get to be with his family.
In the street corners of St. Louis, where music often drowns out the noise of the city, a silence fell over the community as a tale of unthinkable tragedy unfolded. Downtown Dario, a local rapper known much for his controversial lyrics, as his devotion to his young daughter Damaya became the center of a story that would leave the city and the world of hip-hop in mourning. This is the story of a father's love, a community's sorrow, and the city's call for justice in the brutal aftermath of a crime that took 2 lives. One was a 7-year-old little girl who clearly had nothing to do with nothing. But on top of that, the family get little to no justice. The person who's allegedly held responsible, one of the 2, only get 10 years in prison. Not because he didn't do it, not because he didn't deserve it, simply because the DA office wasn't prepared twice. So before we go over this one, remember family, I won't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Family, this Javon Nettles and Andre Anderson. Nettles took a plea deal this past Monday morning, October 16th, 2023. He pled guilty to second-degree M and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Anderson's jury trial is scheduled for November. In the heart of St. Louis, a city known for its vibrant music scene, the streets fell silent as a beloved figure, downtown Dario, also known as Darian Rankin Fleming, and his young daughter,
you and the Judge Goofy,
Damaya Fleming, were brutally gunned down. The incident occurred 2 years ago, shortly after downtown Dario had released a controversial diss song. Now, before we talk about that track released 2 years ago, 4 years ago, he released a track called Raid with over 23,000 views and counting. He was dissing a lot of people. And according to a comment, this the 8, Person, Taliban, The Curve, L, and Blender. Be safe out here, my dog. The stepping on the roast scene was tough though, LOL. And according to that comment, he dissed over 5 hoods, so he had many enemies. He rapped OTO, not sure what it mean, but check out this video.
You make a song, you heard me? Nigga, keep this shit, nigga. We right down the street for you niggas, man. Phone with you, nigga. Yeah.
You watching a Vic Mont film.
Spray the chopper like a Ray can downtown, made man.
Now his latest song, Before He Lost His Life, was a song released 2 years ago with over 62,000 views and counting, titled 1643, that featured 3 other people.
Niggas better not play. Hop off whips, you run, you get it chased. Hit on a Drake, call it Ray. Watch out when I spray. I won't leave a trace. Catch a body, then I get away.
Only weeks after that diss track, just after 8 p.m. on the last week of January of 2021, police were called to the shooting on the 4000 block of Lakeed Avenue at around 8 p.m. When they arrived, they found a man deceased from a gunshot wound and a young girl who was also struck multiple times in the car. Courtesy of the family members, this picture, those victims, was Darian and Damaya Fleming. May they rest in peace and love and condolences to the family.
Now on a 7-year-old girl and a man who were killed last night in the Central West End. Police have now identified the little girl as Damaya Fleming. They have not identified the man. They don't know how she is related to the man. The two were found in a parked car on Laclede Avenue last night around 8 o'clock. She's the second child to die from gun violence in the city since the start of the year. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on the screen, 866-371.
It would go weeks before someone would get arrested. This made the community furious. A reward for $40,000 had increased for information leading up to an arrest. The mother and the grandmother had ended up speaking up on the platform, being strong and trying to get justice for her son and her granddaughter. Check it out.
Johnson, some of you guys just watched my radio show that's in Detroit on 910 Superstation. But I wanted to have a conversation, something that happened real tragically in our community. And this is going to be a very difficult interview for me, because I'm about to talk to a young lady who lost her son and her granddaughter. Mm-hmm. And folks, I'm asking you to be patient with me and be understanding with me, because the conversation we're going to have is not a pleasant conversation. Let me bring into this conversation Miss Kiki Rankin. Miss Rankin, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Under this very difficult circumstance and situation.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thank you for taking time out of this difficult time in your life to interview with me. On last Sunday, January 24th, your son, Darian Rankin Fleming, and your granddaughter, Maya Rankin Fleming, was murdered.
Yes.
Folks, this has been very difficult, and
anything about 10:30, her mom called and asked what time was he bringing her home, and I said, he's gonna bring her home, and she said, well, what's his number, his new number? So I gave it to her, and she called, and it went to voicemail. So I tried to call, it went to voicemail, and I always video talk with my son on Facebook. We always see each other. And I saw he hadn't been active for 2 hours. So I said, okay. I said, well, he stays on West Pine. I said, well, I'll ride down there. And I gave her the address. And we got down there, and as I was driving down there, she said, my mom seen something on the news about a male and a little girl being killed. And I said, well, that's not gonna be them. Maybe he's just not answering the phone. So the closer I was getting like really nervous, because my son always answers when I call. And I said, well, I'm on my way down. We was gonna meet up in front of his loft. And I said, where did they get killed at? And she said, Lafayette and, not Lafayette, Laclede and Sarah. And my heart just stopped, because I'm like, that's, my son lives right there. And I'm like, please don't let it be them. I'm like, nobody even reached out, like no officers. I didn't get a call. Now this time it's almost 11 o'clock now. And we're riding around. I'm like, it don't look like, a crime scene or anything. I couldn't find an officer. I couldn't think. So I said, well, let's go to the hospital. Let's go to Barnes and see if they took him there. And I got to Barnes, and they said no. And we also heard on social media or in the news that the man he was dead upon arrival, but they took the little girl to a nearby hospital. So I said, okay, let's try Children's. It's right there.
Now let me ask you. Now, you're still not knowing if this is your son or not.
Still not knowing. So I went to Children's, And me and my granddaughter, her mom and her grandma were in another car. By this time, my oldest daughter is down there. And we went to this little security guard and we said, do you all have a gunshot victim, a little girl, an unidentified little girl or anything? And they're like, our shift just changed. Give us a minute. We'll go get a a social worker. What's your name? And they're asking all them questions, but they were just looking, and me and my son and my granddaughter favor, like I birthed her. And I could just tell they were the way they were looking. Well, give us a second. Let's get your information. We'll be back outside to talk to you. So we're just pacing back and forth outside. Now, mind you, like I said, this is like 11:30, almost 12 o'clock now. And some detectives pulled up, and I said, excuse me. I said, I can't reach my son. I know it was a homicide right there where he lives. And I said, I can't reach him. I don't want it to be them. And I said, I need to see this little girl in here. I need to know. And they took my name, asked my son's, what's your son's name? I gave him his name, his information, and they gave me a business card, they were like, this is the card for the detectives that are handling the homicide. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm really getting nervous. They go in and talk to the doctors or whatever, and they come out and say, well, we're going to let you come in and see if this is your granddaughter. We only can have 2 people. So my granddaughter's mom was hysterical. She was like, I can't go in there if it's her. I cannot go in there. And so I said, I can. I'll go in. And me and the other grandmother, we held hands. The doctors asked us to come in this little room first, and they said, well, we're going to let you see the little girl. You can't touch her. You can't take her picture. You can't do anything. And they said, well, her heart stopped. We tried to revive her. We did CPR. We did everything we could, but it just didn't work. So I'm like, okay. And I walked down this hall, and I look to the left, and I see my granddaughter laying in the bed, covered up with a sheet, and my heart stopped. Her grandmother freaked out. She screamed, and she fell on the floor, and she kept trying to get to her. And I just looked, because I wanted to see her, see her face. Her eyes were open a little bit, and her lips were turning purple. And I kept rubbing her leg, and I said, Granny's her. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm here. I'm like, come on, wake up. I'm like, come on, I'm here to get you. Her other grandmother ran off, and I looked, and I walked out, and I went outside, and her mom, my daughter, they're screaming, and I'm like, it's her. And everybody's screaming, and I couldn't process it. I'm just like shaking. I'm like, oh my God, if this is her, then that's my son. And I'm like, I need to see my son. I'm like, where? I need to identify my son. And they're like, due to COVID, you can't identify. We'll identify him through DNA and forensic or, fingerprints and stuff. So I called. My mom was the first person I called, and I told her, and then my phone just was blowing up, and I'm like, how do people know what's going on? And I don't know. We haven't even confirmed anything, and people are already calling my phone. And
I'd be surprised how fast street news spread.
And I was just standing there trying to process the whole thing. And, after the security guards, they're like, okay, we need you all to leave. We need you to move, and I'm like, what's the process? I'm like, what am I supposed, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to leave my granddaughter here and just go. And I'm like, it was nobody to talk to. I just pulled my car out on Kings Highway, and I sat out there till like 12 something. I'm like, I can't believe it. Like I just couldn't believe, that it was them. And I actually I haven't even physically seen my son yet. I just had their bodies picked up. Maybe that was Thursday. And I came in that, the next day, sit down and talk about arrangements. And I begged him. I said, I haven't even seen my son. I don't know what condition he's in. I don't know how many times he was shot, where. I didn't know anything. All I saw was my granddaughter's face. I didn't even know how many times she had. Her mom didn't even see her. And he was like, I can show you all some pictures. And that's when I was able to see him. So far, the detectives have only asked me, like, did I know his password to his phones and stuff? And I'm like, no. But a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are thinking that he was down there in the area, because another reporter said, well, what would he be doing down here? And I said, he lives here. This is right, like this. Him and my granddaughter had to be going and getting in the car, getting ready to leave, and it had to be someone he knew, and they had to block him and block him in and do whatever they would do what they did to.
Imagine you, bro. That shit bogus as hell. Bro, this shit is making my skin, boy. I hate bogus motherfuckers, bro. It's all good, man. You want to goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Then this, and I'm gonna say this, bro, and then I'm just gonna let this shit ride. This shit done piss me off, right? Somehow, some way, we done also figured that shooting the man we supposed to shoot in front of their mama, they kids, and the aunties and everything else, they got highly motherfucking famous. I don't. That shit is goofy. You taking a man's life in front of their fucking family, especially their child, is goofy. You're goofy. That's no street gangster shit. That ain't no gangster shit, bro. I'm letting you know that. If you out here thinking you got a homeboy, y'all run around and y'all think that shit is gangster, that's goofy. I'm here to tell you, that is some real goofy ass man shit. No lie to you. And you don't shoot nobody in front of their children, but especially their children. Now, you know, whatever else happened with grown-ups and grown-ups, that's a different thing. But children, you don't shoot nobody in front of their kids, bro. Really, you don't need to be out here trying to shoot nobody anyway. You need to get your shit right. Go shoot up a target or something at the tree or something. Get your shit right, man. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Run around shoot motherfucker, man. If you getting money, I don't see what the fuck your purpose is, really. If you trying to get some money and trying to take care of your family, I don't see what the other purpose is. You run around talking about you about to shoot up people and you wanna gang bang, man. Fuck all that, man. Fuck all that. Get you some money. All that other shit, we don't give a fuck about that. We care about what we do for our sisters and brothers, our mamas and our aunties and motherfucking everything else. We don't give a fuck about nothing else. We don't really give a fuck about nothing else if we ain't talk about getting some money and taking care of our people, bro. Point blank. All that other shit, I don't. Somehow we done figured out this shit was supposed to, this shit is gangster. This shit ain't gangster. It's goofy. You're a fucking goofy goober if you think this shit cool. Seriously, bro. Come on, people. Let's wake the fuck up, man. Come on, bro. Today I woke up with that. Never mind. I ain't gonna lie. This is the wrong time for that. Never mind.
Well, Ms. Rankin,
I won't go into detail, but it was personal. They didn't rob my son. They didn't. It was personal. It's like they
just say your son was in the streets, man. That's all you gotta say. My son was in the streets, and there was some stuff he was doing. All that, it was personal. It was no way. Your son was dissing to them people, dead people, and that's what happened to him. Sad to say, that's exactly what happened. All that, it was personal and all that shit. I ain't gonna sit here and do that either, cause he was all motherfucking rap videos with that goofy ass shit, dissing dead people and all this bullshit, at 20-something years old. He old enough to go get him some fucking money and go do some other shit. And he chose to get some money by dissing the dead people. It's what happens, ma'am. I don't know what's personal. There's nothing personal about that. What we talking about?
Did what they did to him,
there, you
and then they walked around.
Oh, him and the other man was personal. Get the fuck out of here.
To her window, and they did the exact same thing that they did to him, to her. Like they had like heartless animal like you. How do you do that?
Yeah,
period to anyone but a little girl. She did not deserve that at all.
So they walked up.
If you wanted to hurt my son, okay, you didn't have to hurt her.
Right.
You did not hurt my son. When you killed his daughter, you had already killed him. You did not hurt him. When you killed her, you hurt me, her sister, her aunts. You hurt everyone that loved him, her friends at school. It's like the list goes on and on. Everyone is hurt. Everyone is. Strangers are hurt. I mean, I had insurance for my son, but not for my granddaughter. And when I say I've been getting so much help from everywhere, people want to know how can they donate to the reward. It's going up. It's like somebody knows something, and it's like
good more than 10 years they have me.
It's horrific. I can't. Every day I'm sick to my stomach. I just can't. I can't believe it. Because as a mother, I wish I could have protected my son. I wish I would have stayed down there with him. It's so many things I wish that I could have did.
Ms. Rankin, this is a very shit, man. This is very difficult for me. So because I got kids, right?
Right.
Only thing I want to do in my life is give my kids a chance to be successful and have a good life.
Exactly. All that other shit, bro. All that other shit.
I'm really sorry that just happened to you.
Why are we 20? Because he got to be at least fucking 26. You know what I'm saying? He had to be at least all of 26. You know what I'm saying? Why are we 26? We can rap about so much other shit, but we want to rap about other people dead homie. And we 26 years old. What the fuck is we getting out of doing this? I don't get what the fuck is we get, bro. We could diss the opposition in so many ways to where it's gonna feel like I'm dissing this dead homie. You feel me? But I know I'm in the city. I got a daughter. I can't. You feel me? I got a daughter. I can't live the way I wanna. I can't diss and live the way I wanna live. I know I got this daughter I gotta take care of. That's my whole purpose. Now if I'm out here by myself, then still dissing motherfucker at 26 years old, knowing you got to live and get some money, it's goofy anyway. Point blank, we ain't getting out of that, bro. All that 26, you 30, you 25, 30 years old, and you talking about you dissing somebody, dead homie, and getting some money, you're fucking goofy. Point blank, what are we doing? We're 30 years old talking about dissing somebody, dead homie. And we stopped doing that at fucking high school. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? This shit ain't. What the fuck are we doing? We're 25 and 30 years old now. I don't. What's the thrill? What is it to you motherfuckers and the thrill? I mean, are just doing dumb shit. I'm 30 years old. I gotta take care of my fucking daughter, and I'm doing the same shit I was doing 15 years ago. I'll wait. No, I ain't got no answer. I fucking know.
So what we're asking, the reason why we had this had you on tonight, we got to get people to say something. We want people. There's a reward now of up to $40,000.
Yes, $40,000.
We need folks to stand up to the plate, come to the plate, have a conversation. I mean, we need to talk. We need to open a conversation. Let's talk. It could have been your kid. It could be my kid. We may have lost her. We're gonna get her back. There's nothing. You killed her dad
in front of her. Like, wasn't that enough? Like, she would have had to live with that. That's why I know whoever did this to them knew them and knew that she would tell who it was. And I just need I need somebody to say something. It's like, I'm not going to be the only grandmother that's going to be, it has to stop. Like, say something, especially this wasn't just an accidental. It wasn't accidental. This was purposely done to them.
If you walk up, if I'm walking,
folks, I'm telling you,
I can see who I'm walking up.
I'm tired of seeing these mother and these families grieving.
So y'all motherfuckers, man,
and babies. I don't know what the father was into. That don't matter.
That's like that boy Alvon out 1700. But I got cousins and shit that be listening to him and shit. Man, you heard Vaughn? You heard that new song? No, I'm not listening. I don't listen to no fucking. First of all, I'm not listening to no motherfucker talking about call no Vaughn off 1700 anyway. Let's get that understood anyway. I'm not listening to no motherfucker that's called that anyway. First of all. Second of all, I'm not listening to no motherfucker who looks like a goofy. I'm sorry. I'm not finna. That's not interesting me. First of all. So, and third of all, I'm not listening to no motherfucker talking about, what he say? I don't care if my ops was 2 years old, I'm still killing them. What the fuck is you talking about? You sound like a fucking goofy. You sound like a fucking goofy. I don't give a fuck where you from in Chicago. Your ass sound like a goofy. I mean, this shit you gotta think about, man. This shit be silly, bro.
You don't have the right just to take somebody's life because that you think you can just do it.
This shit you gotta think about, bro.
We gotta start standing up to the community and talking about it. We gotta talk. You always talk about no snitching, but if something was to happen to somebody, you was something to protect the integrity. Hey man, pretty soon we ain't gonna have no goddamn kids.
We're gonna stop it there. Shout out to the Big Fella Podcast. And much respect and courage to the mother for speaking up and speaking out on behalf of her son and her granddaughter. Now, in no way, shape, or form this takes away from the story, especially in pertaining to the 7-year-old girl. But I have to provide full context as a platform. Now, that brutal crime scene revealed not only the bodies of the father and daughter duo, but also the rapper had a firearm in his car, and authorities communicating that he had a rap sheet, including warrants of unlawful use of a weapon, resisting arrest, and possession of a weapon. Now, the first arrest didn't come till 4 months later. Police announced the first arrest in the case in April of 2022. Javon Javante Nettles was 28 years old when he was first arrested, charged with 2 counts of first-degree M and 2 counts of armed criminal action. Court documents released after the charges were filed indicates that Nettles' fingerprints was found on a rear passenger door of Rankin Fleming's car. The father-daughter duo had been shot through open passenger side door of the car, according to investigators. Ballistic evidence from the scene revealed the father and daughter were shot with 2 different firearms. And according to the indictment, Nettles was looking for Flemings all night. When authorities looked through Fleming's cell phone, they found out that Nettles had been in contact with Flemings right before the M, and they planned to meet up that night. He kept messaging him, trying to find out the location of where he was at. A month later, Andre Anderson will be arrested for his role as the second shooter.
Candlelight vigil tonight for a 7-year-old girl who was shot and killed in the Central West End Sunday night, and the family is pleading for justice.
You didn't. I just wanted to slap the shit out of him when I seen him just now. He just pissed me off.
You have to do that to her, and what you did to her, how you did it to her. She's just a baby 7.
Shaking with emotion, Selena Johns cannot fathom
why someone would murder her 7-year-old niece, Demaya Fleming.
This is a child. Like, she innocent. Never did nothing to nobody.
That shit just pissed me off.
A gunman opened fire on Demaya and her father, Darian Rankin Fleming, as they sat inside his car Sunday night. Sources tell 5 on Your Side's Christine Byers that police found cash and a gun inside Rankin Fleming's car. He also had warrants for unlawful use of a weapon and resisting arrest. But Johns wants nothing to do with those on social media blaming Demaya's father.
He's not the reason. The guy who pulled the trigger is the reason why Demaya is dead.
John said the family called Demaya Ola, short for old soul, because she would say and notice things most kids her age didn't. She spent her last weekend on Earth baking cakes with her grandmother, with plans to sell them for $5 each to raise money for family members.
They don't care who they kill, your grandma, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your dog, anybody. They don't care.
John said Demaya's parents were no longer together, but the two co-parented. And now the only thing getting them through this is prayer.
My message is like, whoever it is, I hope you have a heart to turn yourself in, you know, but if not, God will bring justice.
When the family assumed they could finally get some form of closure for justice, Nettles was set to go to trial back in 2022. But days before the court date, the charges were dismissed and refiled because prosecutors weren't ready. Court officials moved the trial to April 2023, and yet again, they weren't ready to move forward. Nettles took a plea deal Monday, October 16, 2023. That morning, he pled guilty to second-degree M and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Anderson's jury trial is scheduled for November, but this made the victim's mother furious, and she spoke to the local news less than 48 hours ago. Check it out.
Good. Sounds good. Perfect. And Ms. Rankin, you can just look right at me with the questions. First, I want to start off, you know, what is this weight like for you as a mother, as a grandmother?
I want y'all to think about this shit. I want y'all to think about this shit. I hate to keep fucking pausing this, I swear to God, dude, bro. But this shit sickens me so much, bro. And since I got the video paused right now, I'm going to go ahead and say why I say it ain't his fault. It ain't his fault she died, because if you want to get if you a real killer, you going to get your mans. You going to walk up and get your mans. You ain't going to get you not going to get your mans and shoot his mama because his mama right there. You ain't gonna walk up to your man, shoot him, and then shoot his grandma because his grandma right there. You came to get your mans. You ain't here to shoot no women, and no you ain't gonna walk up to no man and shoot him and his little niece right there, cause his little niece right there. So you ain't gonna just blow her too. You ain't gonna do that. You came to get your mans. That's what you was paid. Even if you ain't was paid for that. Even if this what you do. Even if this what you do. Even if you just wake up every day and hunt down your ops every day. If you just the life you live. So be it, hey man, hey, whatever you do, you see what I'm saying? But you have to get shit together. Cause that shit, you get you some money. All this other shit about motherfucking waking up and having ops, nigga, who gives a fuck? We care about this money. We don't care about nothing else. All that other shit gonna come to you. Cause people gon' hate. So you gonna always have an opportunity. I hate to talk like this, but I'm saying you want a motherfucker to try you, and so you can do something to a motherfucker. You gonna have the opportunity, trust me, cause motherfucker gonna try you. You gonna have to trust me, bro. You gonna have to slap a motherfucker one time. I'm telling you, I promise you. It's just what come with shit in your life. It's just what come with it, bro. So all that waking up every day and putting yourself in shit purposely, just cause you want a name, nigga, that's goofy. It's not helping nobody. It's not helping your mama. It ain't helping your granny. It ain't helping your grandpa. It ain't helping nobody. You waking up and doing shit that's bogus. With no money. You don't have no money. I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. So that's what I'm saying. It ain't in a sense, of course it's his fault, but in a sense it ain't his fault, cause if real killers get they mans, bro, they don't shoot women's and kids, bro. Real killers don't shoot women's and kids, bro. Simple. That's point blank shit. And I hate to be even having a conversation about killers, period. But I know what I know, man. You see what I'm saying? It's just point blank, period. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I say it ain't his fault. Now, the other thing, lady, I'm sorry. Rest in peace to both of them. You see what I'm saying? Rest in peace to both of them. But what we gotta do as parents, we gotta stop acting like we don't know what our kids doing. Cause somehow too, as parents, somehow we think it's motherfucking cool to act like we know our kid ain't in the motherfucking streets. I don't get this shit. Then something happened to he was a good kid. He didn't never. Get the fuck out of here. You knew what your son and your daughter was doing from the first get-go. Ma'am, you knew your daughter that motherfucker went down that street, stabbed up 10 motherfucking girls, goddamn shot at the motherfucking dudes around the corner with her boyfriend. You knew this shit. Why the fuck is you on this camera talking about it was personal, or they had something against her, or they had something against them, or they... No, ma'am. That was not it. No, sir. No, that was not it, sir. That didn't happen like that, sir. You know and I know and everybody in the whole neighborhood knows. What are we talking about? So, we got to stop acting like, bro, this being kids' life, man. Even if you can't, more story, be in your motherfucking kids' life. And if you got down your kids' ears in the street, I already know what come with this shit. Don't be out here talking about shit personal and all. No, it ain't personal. This street shit ain't personal. This ain't personal at all. This street shit ain't personal at all. Fuck is we talking about? This shit is just what it is. This what come with this shit the business if you want to be for real. This shit is what it is. And it's only getting worse and worse and worse and worse. A man just killed somebody's daughter and granddaughter and got 10 years. If I go stand up at that store up there and get caught with a half a cookie, I would do 40 years in prison. Think about that.
Feeling this pain.
I mean, it's a.
How do you think about that?
It's like it's heavy. It's very heavy.
And him, but especially her. Think about it.
It's like a wound. Somebody just keeps pouring alcohol on. Just like keeps. It's a constant sting, a constant pain, and it just keeps on like it's not getting any better. It's like you all are making it worse and worse and worse. Like they just like. Yesterday was like killing him all over again. It's like it just put us right back there.
10 years slapping.
Where, like from the first day it happened.
And this is clearly not justice for you. What does this 10-year sentence mean for you?
It means nothing. It means nothing. That was just
real fast.
that was nothing. And she constantly kept trying to remind us that no matter how much time she gave them, it wouldn't bring my son and my granddaughter back. She just kept, no amount of time is gonna, you can't speak for us. I think life would have been fine. But he's been in there 2 years already, so he's gonna do what, 6 or 7 years? And get out and get to be with his family, his kids. I don't get that, we don't get that. That was nothing, they could have just let him go before. At least when Kim Gardner, they talked so bad about her, but at least she was keeping him in there. Whatever way she could, she kept him in there. She could have let him out. That's how I feel. You could have just let him go. I don't feel she did anything.
Know that.
At all. Nothing.
Know that.
Nothing.
And knowing all of this into account, there's several folks, with their hands in this, making decisions about it. Those include Gabe Gore, the circuit attorney. Earlier today, he said that he understands your grief. Do you agree?
I disagree. You don't care. Like, there's just another case, because I even heard one of them make a comment. We've got 400 cases knocked off, taken off, like getting out the way. Yeah, you just giving out. You just giving out, giving away. You just letting murderers go. That's why people kill every single day, all day. But let somebody get caught with some drugs, they getting 10 and 20 years, but you could kill a 7-year-old and just go. It was a joke. It was a joke. The justice system is a joke. They're a joke. He's a joke. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He probably don't even know their full name. He don't care. It's just a whole other caseload to them.
And when you think about this, obviously there's another suspect. I heard you.
You call me whatever the fuck you want. I keep telling you. You call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. As long as you don't try to motherfucking put your motherfucking hands on me or do nothing to me or my family, I really don't give a fuck what you say. You say all you want to. You motherfucking talk. Hey, man, I done had a lot of motherfuckers say something about me. I done had a lot of motherfuckers say something to me to my face. I done had a lot of motherfucking fights. I done had a lot of goddamn shootings. Now I'm talking too much. You get the point. The point is, I done had a lot of shit in my life. That's the point. So I will no longer further. I said that, almost 10 years ago now. I said that since I left my hometown. Boy, I will no longer let anybody get me in anything. No, sir. Nigga, only me I'ma let get myself into it. I ain't finna, what? I done did that too much. No way. I can't do it.
You say you want a civil suit. What's next for you when it comes to?
Well, next, like I said, still another person. So we're gonna deal with that. There's no way.
Just like everybody else.
Like I don't want to. No plea, no nothing. You fooled us. You fooled us.
Y'all have shit to do. Everybody got a purpose. Find it.
Once you won't get a chance to do it again, we willing to take our chance with that. Cause like at the end of the day, God has the final say. So just it doesn't. This ain't the end. I guess we're not gonna sit here like, okay, like it don't end. It's not going to end. That's not justice. And until I get it, I'm going to get it. Yeah. Whoever I have to turn down, somebody's gonna pay.
Yeah, that's insane.
And that's my word. That is, I will fight for them. That's my job. Like I told it, your job is to fight for them. They're not here. That's your job. That's your job.
That's for sure.
But they didn't care. None of them care. They all full of it. They full of it.
And talk to me a little bit, about your son and your granddaughter. For people that did not know them, what were their personalities like? How do you remember them and their best moments?
I mean, they're just alike. They're both like funny. Like they were like brother and sister. That's how close they were. Like they would talk on the phone for hours, like friends. Like, who is that in the back? Like that's how they were so close. Like he was so funny and he would give whatever. Give you whatever. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has done something wrong in their life. But he was a giving person.
That's all we wanted
so
to
big.
accept.
And
That's
hers, like
that's all we wanted to.
She wanted to be a baker. She wanted to be a rapper. That was her dream, to be in the studio with him. She was in the studio. She made a little song. She was like, I was in the studio, Grandma. Like they were so much alike. Like you robbed him of that. You gave him 10 years. She didn't get to her 10th birthday. We had to celebrate. We couldn't even celebrate at the cemetery because of the storm, because of all the trees. So we didn't even get to celebrate her 10th birthday. She's not here. You get 10 years. You decided that her time was up on this earth, that her greatness had to end.
My mind, the whole
and I won't sit with it like I told him in the courtroom. You didn't win. You did not win.
That's the point of knowing.
You did not win.
My granddaughter got killed for nothing, all for 10 years.
This is not it. He didn't win.
And one more question for you. You are unbelievably strong to be dealing with this. It's raw for you.
Yeah.
And seeing that today, how do you get up every day and do this?
I just keep praying, like I keep praying. I prayed, like I told them, I prayed through this whole process and I left it. I leave it in their hands because this is, you all are supposed to help us. We're the victims' family. You're supposed to help us. So, but it's like if I have to get up. It's like I still, as a mother, my job does not end because he's not here. I still have to fight for them. Like, I will fight to the end. I will not give up. That is my motivation to get up and go to school and go to work. And that is why I will not let myself go. I will not give up. They're my reasons. That's my reason right there. That is my reason.
Thank you for even talking to us. Obviously, your story continues to be.
Family in the air, the music stopped for downtown Dario, but his rhythm continues to live on. His life and legacy remains a constant reminder of a father's love for his daughter and passion for music, and a plea for peace in a city too often rocked by violence. His story, while marred by tragedy, continues to inspire a community to rally against gun violence and strive for a safer, more harmonious St. Louis. Family.
That shit was a little bit much for me, man. That shit was pissing me off, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, family. I ain't gonna lie, Big Truck. That shit was pissing me off, man. Somehow, man, motherfuckers, they thinking this shit is so gangster, bro. And for a judge to know the specifics of the case and give this man 10 years, bro, was very highly disrespectful. And somebody need to go look into that judge, bro. Point blank, period. Something need to be done, because that is the most craziest shit I've ever heard and seen, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Rest in peace to her. Rest in peace to him, man. That shit crazy.